If you can't hear me, maybe you should tap into leave a message or something. Otherwise, we're just going to begin for very soon. Oh, great. Yeah, and we're just about to begin. Is all video okay? Because I can't see myself. Sorry guys, it's a bit out of offline with my video is not working because I was using Barcoda's account. Doesn't matter if you can hear me and see my screen, that will be fine. Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to ASEA Expo in House, and my name is David. So I'm a triple diamond with ASEA company, and this is my third year going to ASEA business, and it's been absolutely privileged and honor to be part of this company and to actually share and promote this product. For the next half an hour, I'll doing my presentation, we call it opportunity presentation. And along the way, if you have any problems, you can leave in the chat room for me. And then we might have maybe 5 minutes discussion if we have enough time. So I assume everybody can see my screen. All right, so for those who actually coming this Zoom meeting for the first time, or if you actually first time hear this product, that this company is called ASEA. So we call it cellular health. As you can see on the screen, this is the company's brand new office in Salt Lake City. And in the middle is the laboratory and the manufacturing produce these redox molecules. And I'm sorry, my presentation has some of Chinese on it because most of them I'm actually doing Chinese presentation. Yeah, so it's the factory and the laboratory is actually approved by FDA, Food and Drug Administration. Also the approved by NSF, National Sanitization Foundation. We're just gonna look at this video. Some of you might already seen it, but I'm just gonna run through this video for now. So this is Mark. His name is Mark, and he had quite a severe accident in Mexico. This is a while back. This is about year 2000. So we look at about 19 years ago. So he had quite a big accident. As you can see, his face is all quite scarlet and it's severely damaged. The skin is severely damaged. Of course, the scars have followed him for many years with him. He was on 400 to 600. It might seem quite a lot painkillers. Actually, if you think about it, it's actually not that a lot. It's about average about 20 pills a day. That's like 6 pills, and a lot of people would do that in age. So he's having this treatment called redox signaling molecule, this new technology. He started 18 months into this treatment, and within these 18 months, the first 90 days, he's off the painkiller. As you can see, he kept his health record. He had quite a severe heavy scars for 11 years. He had this total treatment for 31 months. You can see, wow, there's a very, very big difference in his face. He's actually looked younger after that. So he highly recommends this technology, which is going to spend next 25 minutes on, and it's called Redox. There's a number of books which were wrote by the scientists about redox. There you go. That's him in the middle, on the photo on the right, in the white jacket, I think, and that's his wife. He has his story on the Facebook, ASEA Health Self, Healthy Self. So if you got a Facebook, you can ask your team leader, or you can actually just kind of have a little search, typing that, and you will see his testimony there. I'm sure if you added him as a friend, he will be very likely to share his story with you guys as well. Yeah, so this is very big. It's one of the, we reckon it's one of the biggest discovery in the health science kind of area, since penicillin. Those are the doctors who actually wrote and said about what this technology is about. We just want to kind of emphasize on the this one, Dr. Gary Samuelson, and his atomic physics. And there's only, according to the research, there's only 6 of atomic physics in this world. So they basically study medicine on the cellular levels, cell and medicine stuff. So what he said is, all disease can be linked back to our cell. And if we actually think about it, this is actually quite true. Why it's true is because our life is actually began with one cell. We are from one single sperm from our father, and that one little sperm, meet your mom's egg, then just then start duplicate life, and that's how life starts. And if we start getting sick or whatever, that usually is always traced back to one cell and start getting sick. So that he said it. So as you can see, that this is the little triangle we did, and maybe 10 years ago, and people are only up to this level, which is cell. And we all know, long time ago, we know there's you, there's your body, and there's your systems, there's organs, and there's tissue, and there's cell. I think, then from 1990 afterwards, and the scientists start digging into more, what's actually in the cells, and they realize there's a whole bag of water, which is from salt and water particles, atoms, which is in your cell, and they just don't know what was that for until 1998. Somebody discovered that's actually something that sends signals. So they named it called redox signaling. It's very easy. It's actually just detect and repair and protect and replace your cell. again, we're here just to tell everybody that ASEA and Renew 20 are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, because we're actually not a medicine. This is not something very, very traditional medicine. This is not even traditional health product. And this is what we call a supplement for your cell. It's first of the kind and in the market. So before we actually want to go in a little bit further, we actually need to know what actually is not redox. There's a lot of things are on the shelf of chemist shops. If you go to a nutrition shop, there's everything on the shelf for the past maybe 30, 40 years are actually, within these 5 categories: vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, juice, alkaline water, which is quite popular, for the last 5, 10 years kind of thing. So redox molecule is actually not in any of these. So it's actually a very, very new, it's a brand new technology, and it's a brand new market, which is give us who's ever, if you think about that, and it's very new. It's like imagine you're talking to people about antioxidant 30 years ago, when people just don't know, all we know is vitamins, minerals. We don't know what is antioxidant until probably about 30 years ago. Again, this is the company's office. It's a new office and facilities, which is all owned by ASEA company itself, has no debt, so it does not own anything. Then we have, they developed the technology that can create and stabilize this redox signaling molecule. I think we want to emphasize the word stabilize, because this, a lot of, I know there's a lot of scientists, they try to break the atoms from the salt and the water, and they can break them. But the problem is to put them back and stabilize. And this is one of the key thing that ASEA did for this world, is to ASEA actually stabilize that and put in the bottle for 15 months. It's patented by 3 steps. Just pure salt water, same as found in your cells, and it just broke down into 4 floating atoms. Then it extracts back into stabilized redox molecules and put it in that bottle. So we can all happily drink this for the next 15 months. And yeah. So redox, we actually call it, this is kind of the only nutrition, well, it's not a nutrition, it's kind of only supplement that comes within ourselves. So it comes within your birth, by your birth. So it's in your cell, because if you have a cell, then you have redox molecules. And the problem of our life is, along every 10 years, we probably drop about 10% of redox molecules. So people often think when you're a teenager, when you're young, and you're probably looking at the best shape. But the truth is actually the best health and the best, how should I say, the most active cells level is actually when you're at age 7, before age 7. And that's why you can actually see a lot of children, when they play around or when they cut themselves, they usually heal really quick, and they usually don't leave any scars. When we get to teenager or above 20, you can see kind of this, when you injure yourself or cut it, it's not going to take as long as when you're young, but it's still okay. It still heals okay. But when you get to my age, like 40, which is you're probably not going to, it's going to take you a few weeks, a month even to heal. But when you get to, 70, you're probably only about 20-30% redox left. That's why it's very hard for people with age people that they can recover from any injuries or cuts and something like that, because we're just losing that active cell in our body, and they don't communicate anymore. And there's other reasons that we need redox is, there's a lot of, let's say, sunlight, pollution from the car, stress, and the whole world pollutions from the factories. And those are main factor that we actually dropping very large amount of redox. And the picture in the middle, there's also obviously a natural kind of process by aging, but nobody avoid that. And there's genetic modified organism, GMO food, which is, if you go to Coles and Woolworths these days, you can actually buy non-GMO food. They're usually about 20 to 30% more than the GMO. But because, people start realize that GMO food is actually bring kind of stress on your cell. We all know, all these cigarettes and fast food and all this lacking of exercise, they actually causing a very significant stress on our cell, that our cell will stop communicate to each other. And what happens when the cells stop talking to each other? It's a very simple thing. Just imagine that you have an iPhone, I have an iPhone, and if we go out and if you can't contact me, if we're using some bad network and some building blocked our signal, then we can't actually talk to each other. Then we can't actually efficiently do things. I'm sitting here using my computer. If my Wi-Fi drops off, I wasn't able to have this meeting with you guys. So it's exactly the same thing. When the cell drops signal, they just can't communicate to each other. This is where the problem starts, when they can't talk to each other. Because if you look at the redox signaling molecules, they're actually very, very simple. They have nothing. They're just made of salt and water. It takes a long time to process them from ASEA, but in your cell, they just that kind of salt water in your cell surrounding, produced by your mitochondria. It only does two things. It just carries the message that tells your cell to activate those antioxidants more than almost 5 times more. The other job they do is just responsible for enabling proper cell communication within your body. Optimize your immune system and protect against all this harmful stuff, all these infections. So that's a very simple job. And the name already said it, it's cell signaling supplement. So what it does, it helps your cell to send out signals to each other. As I previously stated, when a cell talks better, they just like human. We can do more things when we communicate better. If imagine we are a team, the cell operates exactly like that. When a team of people communicate better, no matter in which organization, this organization will perform better than those ones that communicate not as good at them. So again, this is very simple. This redox is basically people, for many, many years, the scientists actually thought this is a byproduct of mitochondria, but it's actually not. Now, a lot of people will say, wow, some of you might already see some testimonies on the Facebook, on the Google, when first time when I saw all the testimony, I'm like, wow, this is way beyond what I thought, because it's why it's kind of helping all kind of people with all kind of problems. And I'm like, this is too magic for me. It's like magic water. But then the more you actually know this technology, you realize how big the market is, because how many people you can help. It's because if you look at these photos and basically everything everything that inside our body and within us is made of by trillions of cells. We just, your hair's is made of cells. Your nails is made of cells. So it's just, and to look at this technology or this product, a lot of people will use Google's, but I will say, look, Google is great. You can search a lot of things, testimonies and stuff like that. But everybody can get up there to do it. But one of the websites I always refer to people, or if you don't know, if you're first time, just go to www.pubmed. So it's PUBMED. So it's pubmed.gov. It's the American government medical research website, and up there, you can't just randomly putting stuff up there. So it's quite very highly regarded as a proper medical research website. And over there, you probably see, redox is one of the fastest growing field in scientific research for the past, almost, we talk about 2 decades now, from 2000 to now. It has over 16,000 peer review, and this is done by 2016. So I'm sure there's more than that now, written by peer review. And they are Nobel Prize scientists that who actually won. If you look at the photo on the left, you see the very first signaling molecule was discovered in 1998. Then from there, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17 has been won by breakthrough in cellular communication. They are not from ASEA. They're not actually using our product to, it got nothing to do with us, but we are in the same field, which is cellular communication. And if you look at the one in the middle, it's these three scientists find out that your heart disease is actually got a lot to do with the redox signaling molecules. So, and this one we want especially to bring out is Dr. James Watson. So we call him as the father of the DNA. So he's the one who actually kind of found the DNA in our body, and he's the one who's actually helping a lot of science in the world now to decode the DNA. We know there's few countries that many countries that have few DNA to decode them. So like Americans and Europe countries and China, they all have few that they need to do in the next like 2 decades, something like that, 3 decades. But as you can see, during his one of the seminars by James Watson, and he said a type 2 diabetes as a redox disease. So he's actually, he said it by himself. So if you Google his name or whatever, you will see this original article on the left side, which is the type 2 diabetes as redox disease. So so it's been scientific proof. Then this website, redoxdoc.com, you'll bring out, if you start having less redox, you're having oxidative stress and you have inflammatory stress or reactive. So these two, they call it rusting and reactive. So these two things are going to bring you several problems. And this is, that's why we're having all these issues in our health, is because we're actually rusting more than and quick than what we thought, because we're losing a lot of redox. So we basically ASEA just stabilized in this extensive, after extensive research, literally the company spent millions of dollars and to actually stabilize these redox molecules outside the bodies perfectly into these blue bottles, can keep for 15 months for us to enjoy. Again, this is Anne-Louise Gittleman, and she's we call her the first lady of nutrition. So she's her reputation is very well established in America as the nutrition world. And there's a number of YouTube video, which is, I'm actually doing a translation for one of them. It's going to be on my YouTube channel in Chinese, but unfortunately it's going to be in Chinese. But it's in English, but with Chinese subtitle. That she's talking about how significant this product will help people around, in this world. I'm just going to fast forward that. So for us, it's a very simple product. We've got two groups of product. One is the inside out, and other one is outside in. And the one that has redox is the one on the further left, the first one on the left, which is the blue bottle. This soft pack is for US market only. Then we have the new product from last year via Source, via BioMe and LifeMax. These three, I won't go into too much detail today because they are the nutrition. They just like the, redox is like when you're building a house, you have redox is like workers. You got people start working because they're active cells, but you still need materials. So you still need some kind of nutrition to help you. On the left side is Renew 20A. It's exactly same like in redox, has a couple of other ingredients, which is non-toxicate to actually glue the ASEA water together, and took company 5 years to actually started this gel. And this gel is magnificent. We have a number of use there's more than actually 50 ways you can use this gel. It's not just for skin. People use for their hair, for their legs, for their injury. The blue one in here is actually a serum. That's obviously another more intensive than more concentrate redox than the Renew 28. All these, everything that has redox molecule in it, all the product are actually being certified by BioAngelics Laboratories. It's one of the biggest medical laboratories in America. They do every batch that make sure the redox is not just in their bottle, but actually active. Again, there's only 4 ingredients in Renew 28, which is redox single molecules are made of water and sodium chloride. Yeah, so 4 weeks of study by a couple of these laboratory again, 16% of skin renew. That's cell renewed, so that's pretty awesome. But I want to bring out a little bit more in the second blood flow, increased 50% in 4 days time. As we all know, blood flow is actually the key to our body, to our life. The faster, the better our blood travels in our body, the better health we can have. That's why when you're young, you can actually run around and not actually try to catch your breath. My son can run around for half an hour and then still be all right. And then if I run for like 5 minutes, I'll be like, try to catch my breath, because my blood is the blood flow is not as quick and not as easy as when you're young. So, but this gel, actually, when you apply it on your skin, you actually, if you continue to use your 4 days, and there's 50% increase. And if you want to know how much you use it, you can actually, onto YouTube, there's that one by Dr. Silverman, just talk about how to use Renew 28. There's some of the before and after. Again, not just the wrinkles and, and some of the skin kind of thing that reaction that you can actually help with hair as well. I got a couple friends that hair actually is growing back due to stress, probably food or whatever, make your hair start getting less. And for men, then it actually helps a lot as well. So it's validated by science, and all these, these two laboratories, if you Google them, they're actually very, search the web, they're actually very, very big laboratories. And the first one here says non-toxic, safe for the whole family, which is absolutely true. And the result on this Renew 28 can be just in hours, not days. So this is actually one of the photos. This is actually my daughter. So this was happened last Saturday. So that she actually fell over in the morning. Then her lip, you can see up lip was bleeding and quite swollen. And this is this photo was taken in about 9 o'clock in the morning. Then this is, sorry, it's my daughter just next to me. I'm just, and by this AM, so by in the afternoon, 3 p.m. as you can see, the swollen went down. You might think the children can recover really quick, but I'll tell you, that's just 6 hours apart. And I've seen kids that a lot, not as severe as that, and recover a lot slower. So by 7 p.m. this is pretty much is already healed. So it happened. I always read it actually has quite a fast result on the children, because their cells more active than ours is already. They're a lot more active, so their cell communicate better. So this actually works a lot better on the children too. So it is safe for the whole family. It's one of these products you just want to put next to your living room, your kitchen. If you get cut, if you burn, and you apply, like you can actually see with your own eyes. Like I can't just explain. You can sometimes when you apply something on the skin, renew on the cuts, and you can see in a few hours it heals. Your skin can heal so quick. This doctor used on the half of his face, as you can see, he looks a lot prettier on that other half. this young 10-year-old boy obviously have, with the impaired muscle coordination. Then this is 4 weeks with redox, and you can see his hand and the way he just by the photos you can see. I mean, a lot of people think how this is going to help these kind of children, and think about it. The brain, we have more probably cell in our brain than anywhere else. So the brain cell needs to communicate as well. They need to talk to each other more than probably on your arm, whatever. So there's some skin condition. Also, we need to bring one of really important aspect of this redox is the athlete. ASEA has quite a bit athletes. I actually flew to America. I just want to bring these three out because I'll flew to America for convention, and one of the main reasons I go there is because I really just want to meet Cody Miller, because he was really well-known swimmer. This gentleman on the left side, as you can see, he was also a Olympian in Rio Olympic Game 2016. So, and he was in the convention, and they were having a Q&A session. I think somebody asked him how long he was using ASEA. He said that he's been using ASEA since like 2010. And imagine, I didn't ask him how old is he, because if you go to Olympic game in 2016, and we all know for swimmers, you only go maybe once or twice in your lifetime, and you average your first Olympic game average, you probably be 18, 18 to 20. Let's say if he's 18, or let's put it in the middle, 19. If he was 19 to 16, so if we travel back to 2010, so this is 6 years before. So that means he started using ASEA when he was like 13. So, and I often try to explain to people that those guys are way, way more cautious and concerned about what they're using every day than any of us. And those guys, because they're not going to sacrifice a chance to go to Olympic game for some salt water, right? The only reason they drink this is because this is not salt water, and they know it, and they have all these science. They have all these nutritionists behind them to actually help them. They must consult a lot of people to actually before they drink it. This is one of the few things they shared. We all, in this page, I put it in is achieve your health potential. Yeah, we want to achieve our health potentials. We might never be strong or faster like one of those guys, ladies and guys in these photos, but we all want to achieve something in our best potential. Like we can be, our best end. That's about this product. It's about to becoming the best of you in the health. And there's some of the beauties, Renew 28, which is done by some very well-known, Miss Universe and Norway and stuff like that. I'm sure they all been kind of looking to this product before they have used it. So I truly believe this is 100% safe. But it does take few kind of a frame of time to actually see some result. And it's not because it's not a magic water. It's not, most people who take this are not, like my daughter's age, 6 or 7, they, 30, 40, 50, and everybody has different kind of health. Your body is different. So the frame is different. So the time frame is different. So, but the company usually suggests is 3 months is a minimum period that you want to drink this product, because in 3 months time, 90% of people will see the result. Don't just use for a week. A lot of people say, I just want to use a bottle. Don't do that, because it's never going to help anybody. And this is a massive market. If you actually think about it, let's say health and wellness, sports athletes, and beauty and skincare is 3 biggest market in this world. And if you actually want to buy these days, if you want to go buy something, if you want to buy a health product, you have to go to a health product shop, chemist warehouse, stuff like that. if you want a sports and athlete, you might have to go to a sports nutrition shop, whatever. Then if you want a beauty and skin, you might have to go to, department store, get some beauty and skincare. But this is actually, we talked about one product, one technique with two products can actually tap into all these three, the biggest market. And the age of taking massive vitamins and nutritions are over, because, we realize, and no matter how much nutrition or antioxidant you take, if your cell not communicate better, they just can't move those stuff. Like, it's like building a house. You have all the bricks, everything you put in onto the in the construction site, but there's no worker there. I mean, maybe there is work there, they just don't communicate well, and so they don't do job well. So imagine that. So and that's why the market for ASEA has been tremendously growing. At the pace is so quick that I think it caught a lot of us by surprise, and even the company. In 2018, they will open the 4 market: Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and Thailand. I personally went to Hong Kong and Taiwan last year twice. I didn't go to Thailand this year, but Taiwan certainly is growing really quick in these Asian countries. And at the end, I just want to bring in, and this is once in life, in history timing. A lot of us, thinking that this is maybe tonight is your first time heard this product. Maybe it's not, but no matter what, we all at the beginning of this growth. No matter of the business or from the health kind of side, because people just start understand what is redox molecules and how redox molecule can help us to let us become the best of us. Don't miss that chance. ASEA is the top 100 direct selling global. But I want to share a little bit with some of these the founders of this company. One particularly is this gentleman called Verdus Norton. He's the founder of the ASEA, and everybody probably met him. And if you probably search a little bit him, you'll find he's actually a very well-known a top CEO of Kraft Food over 3 decades, and everybody knows Kraft Food. Even I'm having some of Chinese presentation, people even know that from China. Chinese background, they actually know Kraft Food here. The Verdus Norton was vice president of strategy of Kraft Food, and he was asked to run this biotech. Then he come across with this technology, and he was retired from Kraft Food, and really, I think when he was retired, 2006, he was at age 68. And if anybody who's saying to you, this gentleman will actually try to put salt water at his back garage and try to sell you for $190 per box and try to scam you, and if anybody who has a brand and will think it doesn't make any sense. He's 68, he's retiring. The only reason he actually want to do ASEA is he want to see this product, this technology, to help as many people as he can in his lifetime, and this is what his ultimate goal is. So don't you might see a lot of different stories, and you might hear people say, "Oh, there's just water. They're just made of salt and water." It's not what you think. If this is your first time heard about this is not what you think. You need to actually go to the people, your friend who introduced you to this opportunity and this product. You should actually consult him more. Obviously, ASEA, it is a network marketing company, so it comes 3 categories. You can be the retail customer, wholesale, business builder. You can submit quite a significant amount of money every week. I won't go into detail about the business. This is truly a global business. I have many stories I can share with you later on. We have people they just know one person in Canada, and they call that person wasn't interested, but that person said, "Look, I know somebody in New York can actually help you they might be interested in this opportunity, and there, you know, then all she knows in, you know, after 6 months, and in New York, there's a massive team. It's under her, her team, and you know that team in New York has grown quite big, and also has a couple of diamonds already come out from that team. So it is a very global business. Network marketing, a lot of people would have thought, you know, carry your box around and knock on the doors. That dinosaur age has gone. It's past. Okay, because the internet, because Facebook's, WeChat, and you know, LinkedIn, people are more connected than ever, and this is the best time for you to actually look into the business. Okay. Yeah, so, and obviously there's different levels, there's different ranks in the ASEA, and I won't go into that too much because I'm running a little bit out of time. There's different base camp, different trainings, and there's different there. Now, how you actually start this business, or how you becoming a user, and it's all the same. So you all start with $60. You start with $60 membership fee, and onwards is $25 every year after that. But for the first time, it's $60. You will get your exclusive website with your name that you choose. Of course, depends if it's available or not. There is no minimum monthly spending. Usually the cost is one ASEA will cost you $190 plus. You know, by the time you get to the door, for Renew is probably about $204. If you choose to get a case of Renew, which is a case of ASEA, which is 4 bottles in it, and with 2 Renews, that's $300, and that is absolutely minimum investment for your health. And think about it, if you actually drink this, and or if you refer somebody, and it might help him or her significantly from their illness or whatever they suffer, you know, that $200 is actually, I think, is the best investment in the health and in the business as well. You know, obviously this is you know, $60 to invest in business is actually nothing. You get this very, very well set up and very comprehensive back-end office, which is in this country, in Australia, it will probably cost you about $10,000 to $20,000 minimum to actually set up any back office like that. For ASEA did for us for $60. So yeah, that's it. So, you know, again, thank you very much for your time. And, you know, at the end, I just want to use Virtus Norton's, you know, we are at the start of something big with a great purpose. And right now is the moment that we gain influence in the future, and we can change the world. You know, thank you very much for listening. I can stay here for a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, you can actually ask me on the chat room.